Hey, Sofrito lovers, this is Ben Ramos bringing you another mukbang from my palatial home here in the Northwest Bronx. The Bronx is the home of hip hop and salsa. I'm bringing you some arroz con jamonilla y vegetales. Translated, rice cooked with spam, and some nice little veggies here. Some cauliflower, some carrots, and broccoli. Rice with spam. Yes, rice with spam. And actually, a little bit of corn has been mixed in as well. This is a classic working class Puerto Rican dish. Yes, spam is part of the Puerto Rican diet. It's kind of like arroz con salchicha, a rice with Vienna sausages. It's one of those wonderful working class delicacies that poor working class people were able to invent. We get access to those canned potted meats and we're able to create amazing delicacies with them. Yes, rice with spam with a little bit of corn in it. Delicious. Again, working class Puerto Rican fare. So, frito lovers, I hope you guys are doing well. I apologize. I started the year off so good with a mukbang. Last week, I wasn't able to bring you a mukbang because I was ill. I was in the midst of that disease that started in 2020, which I'm not too sure I can mention on YouTube, but it was that disease that started in 2020, which is running a little bit rampant again now in the winter in New York City. I was flat on my back for about 7 days. I missed out a whole week of work. I didn't go back to work until yesterday, which was Tuesday. Today's Wednesday night. Wednesday, January 17th. So I was laid out. Fever, fatigue, lethargy, aches and pains everywhere. It hit me hard. But I don't want to choke. I don't want to choke. It hit me hard, but as of this past weekend, I was feeling better. Had to do the whole testing thing, and I was able to go back to work on Tuesday. It was so great to be back at work. Being home, oh, and I wasn't alone because, well, just to be clear, I wasn't here alone and I wasn't sick alone. My fiance, David, was also sick with the same thing. I probably gave it to him, probably got it from the kids or parents or adults or anyone I've been around at the school. And I got it, then I gave it to him. He just started recovering probably a day or two ago. And I've been recovering now for maybe 2 to 4 days. So, knocked us out both flat on our backs. But it feels so great to be back at work around human beings and being stimulated by, the drama the kids bring and all the fun and all the paperwork and all that. Being home is wonderful, but when you're sick, it takes most of the fun out of it. And when you don't have any energy to deal with anything, super sucks. But guys, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How are you guys doing? Have any of you gotten sick? Any of the viruses going around there? I know that YouTube has strict policies around naming certain things, so I'm trying to stay away from specific names, but I know all over the country, you know, all these things are popping up. All the respiratory ailments are on the rise. So, frito lovers, I hope you guys are good. How many of you guys have gotten sick? I was lucky. And I say that because there have been some people who've been ill since December who got it really hard and are still recovering and still not feeling well. I'm good. I still have a little bit of a residual cough and a little bit of congestion, but for the most part, I feel pretty good. And even though I was out for a week, I wouldn't say that I was, I was bad because I was ill, but I've known people that, co-workers and colleagues that actually had to be hospitalized, had to go to the doctor and, get on those antivirals and had to, I mean, I did it too. I was on an antiviral too, but like I know people that, had to be hospitalized in December. But once again, doing great, you guys. Happy to be around. How you guys doing? We're 2 weeks into the new year. 2 years. Oh my God. We are 2 weeks into the new year. I don't know about you, but my 2024 has been pretty good. Despite the fact that I was ill, other than that, 2024 has been kind of dope to me. I'm hoping 2 weeks in that the next 50 weeks of the year, or is it 53 weeks? I don't know. Leap year has changed everything this year. So far, this year of the dragon, did you guys know it's a Chinese year of the dragon? 2024 has been pretty dope. Oh, it's been so good to be able to be around friends, co-workers, colleagues. Things are great, you guys. Things are great. It has been cold in New York City, folks. Despite how wonderful it is, I wish the weather were better. Listen, let me make something clear. We New Yorkers know what cold is. I have to admit, in the last 3 years, we've had little to no snow, and it hasn't been that cold. But hey, I've lived in this city my entire life. I know what it's like to be blanketed by like a foot of snow, a foot and a half of snow. It's happened in New York City. There are a lot of people that have who believe, oh, New York City doesn't know what snow is. That's because they've only been paying attention for the last 2 or 3 years. Trust me, those of us that grew up here, we know what cold is and we know what snows are. We've been blanketed at one point. I can remember feet of snow. I can remember snow days that were multiple days, not just one day off from school. There have been times when it snowed so bad when I was a kid or a teenager that they were like, school's out for the next 2 days so we can recover. But it snowed a little bit, a few inches, at least in the city. In the state, forget about it. Upstate, very different story. New Jersey next door, very different story. It snowed like 2 or 3 inches. It accumulated, which most people thought it wasn't. I think a majority of it didn't really accumulate. So there's a blanket of snow you gotta walk through. I'm not a big snow fan. I'm not a big winter fan. I'm a transition boy. I like me some spring. I like me some fall. The summer and the winter, I could do without. I'm a big old fat man. I do not like being hot and sweaty. And as a big fat man, I do not want to be bulked up in these parkas and pea coats and scarves everywhere and hats all over you. I hate all that. I hate walking around feeling so layered up. I'm already a big man and I'm kind of uncoordinated and clumsy. I don't need all the extra weight and all the extra, all the extra bulk to knock me over. So, patiently awaiting the spring. I like me some transitions. So Frito Lover, things are great, Wading through the viruses, wading through the snow. I cannot wait for this winter to be over. But we got another month and a half of this. Who knows how many times it's going to snow, and, who knows how many times it's actually going to accumulate and be something, spectacular. Guys, I love this. Oh, oh, by the way, I cooked this. I cooked the arroz con jamonilla, the rice with spam. Jamonilla is Puerto Rican Spanish for spam. A lot of other Latin American countries have different names for spam. There's some countries that don't even have a name. They just call it spam, and that's it. But in Puerto Rico, most Puerto Ricans, if they're not calling it spam, they're calling it jamonilla. I cooked this over the weekend and have been thoroughly enjoying it throughout the week. I use one of the lower sodium spams because sometimes spam is, of course, a salt bomb. And I'd rather not, increase my blood pressure by 1 point every time I have a plate of this. So I think I bought the one that was like 75% less sodium, which was why I had to put a little bit of salt back in just to give it some flavor. Look. Guys, so good to see you all. So Frito Lovers, so good to see you guys. I hope you guys are well. I'm recovering, having a good time, working on those resolutions. Yes, I am. I've been blogging a lot more, writing a lot more. Getting organized, making sure that my projects are moving forward. Just making sure we start off the year right. Oh, this rice with spam is, guys, I had a long day. Listen, being out of work for 5 days, when you come back, I've been trying to catch up on everything, so you know that my butt has been working hard. I have been working hard, so when I get home, I am hungry. And I was like, I'm reheating some of this rice. Gonna reheat some of the steamed vegetables. These steamed vegetables have butter and everything but the bagel seasoning on it. Folks, try it out. Steam some vegetables, melt some butter, everything but the bagel seasoning. Like everything bagels, they sell the seasoning, everything but the bagel seasoning all over the veggies gives it such a different dimension. So good. So I was hungry. And my wonderful partner, David, he reheated everything up for me. And I was like, I'm going to do a video I want to say hello to the sofrito lovers. I need good food to share with them. And he heated it up for me. He's awesome. He's recovering a little slower than I am. But nothing stops him. He's still rehearsing and practicing. He's got a bunch of gigs, a bunch of jobs. And in about a month, he's going to be going to Florida to work on a project at a theater in Naples, Florida. And we are going to be separated for about 8 weeks, 2 months. We're going to be separated for 2 months. I am going to go sometime in March down there to see him, probably in the midway point, to spend a couple of days with him. And then he'll come in mid-April. You know, he lives mid-February, comes back mid-April. You know, life is moving on, moving forward. The year is moving forward very nicely. Listen, sofrito lovers, I want to finish this off camera. You know me. Just want to touch base with you guys. Washing it all down with some zero sugar peach Snapple. Sofrito lovers, como siempre, go out there, go have some culinary adventures, go taste for yourself. Como siempre, mucho, 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 mucho amor.